Hi YouTube and welcome to another developer preview for Phasmophobia. They are adding or they are giving us a work in progress as they want to help a little bit the old or the Ascension update where we all get reset. We started getting prestiges, leveling, tiers on our equipment, and it's been out for a few weeks now. So they wanted to just, they have listened to some feedback, they want to change some things. So today we're gonna read their work in progress. They want to hear feedback, so let me know if there is something you like about this, something you might not like, and like whatever your thoughts about it is. Welcome back. We have got some news for you. Since the Ascension update, we have had plenty of feedback on how the game currently feels for players. We wanted to share our thoughts on how we are planning to adjust the game to make sure progression and other areas are the best they can be for all types of players. We'd love to hear some feedbacks on process changes and get the ball rolling. We'll be looking to make the following changes with additions straight after the upcoming shop rework. I'm so excited for the shop rework. The shop right now in the game is horrendous and you almost need a degree just to understand what you're supposed to do. So, progression. Leveling rates are currently too slow. I don't know if I would say they are too slow. It might be too slow for some people. I know the Reddit has made some sort of spreadsheets for how long you need or how many hours you need to play for each game difficulty to be able to get to prestige. And seeing as since the start, I still haven't prestige yet for my first time. I still only have the prestige one that I got for free, seeing as I played before the Ascension. I haven't prestige yet. I think I'm just level 90. But I also have only played professional mode and just shortly started with doing some nightmare mode. So we originally made the leveling rate slightly slower so that we could increase the pace if need be. So we'll be doing exactly that, less required XP per level across the board. Very nice. I feel for myself that maybe with the hours that I have played since the Ascension, then maybe I should have been to a new Ascension, but then again, I haven't tried to go for higher Ascension. I just played to learn the new tiers, to learn the new playstyles that I might have to implement with all the new items and figure out what I like and whatnot. So I haven't even tried to go for prestiges, I just had fun. Equipment tier unlocks are too linear and too slow. Okay. Alongside the progression rate changes above, we're going to change tier unlocks to multiple or unlocked at once instead of only one. This means you'll have more choice on which equipment you want to upgrade first and which you want to save for later. I think just like this one right here is absolutely great. Because right now in the game, you get a tier or you unlock a tier at one level and then you get like a few levels after that, then you get a new one, and then you will already just have the money. So you just get everything basically the same second you get your level. You basically have the new item, so you don't have to like think about anything. You don't have to like, oh, maybe I want to try and be more of this type of player on this prestige or like whatnot. So I think this is great. I know that there's a few items that I could care a little bit less about if it comes to saving my money for tier 2 upgrades. Especially right now how the game is. I would give rat's ass about upgrading my UV. I would give rat's ass about like upgrading my camera, or at least my tripod. I could not care too much. The only time I use the tripod with the function of like moving my camera is if I'm in the garage or if I'm like in a very, very big room. So I give a kind of a rat's ass. So I think this is a great one. This is really great. We'll also be increasing the cost of some upgrades, as at the moment players can unlock almost everything straight away. Yeah, so like what I kind of said, seeing as every tier has unlock at different levels, that you just already have the money if you don't die too often between those levels, or if you really love doing like perfect runs, especially if you do it on Nightmare or Insanity or whatever you like. You get ludicrous amount of money and you can just buy everything all the time, and you can basically be invincible, or not invincible, but you could have 4 smudges, use all of them, and still have money to auto buy them after that game, seeing as you get so much money, and you don't need to spend them as often. Prestiges are a completely optional part of progressions, of course. However, we understand that there are many incentives right now to encourage players to prestige, which is correct. Like right now, I would say the only incentives with prestiging is to get it to achievements. That's the only thing. Like if you were a player before the Ascension, you already got the first achievement with prestiging once. And then you get prestige 2 and prestige 3 in the quest or in the like achievements. And that's basically the only incentive, because I don't care about getting more profiles in the shop. Like I could use it to someone, I could like not care. I just use the same loadout all the time, basically. With new player models, we will be adding unique prestige-related unlocks for players to purchase with in-game currencies, such as accessories for your player model and cool new jacket. Oh, I kind of like that. I like when games give you the option to be able to customize your own character. So maybe you can feel a little bit more, make it a little bit more you, make it a little bit more personal, instead of having to always like everybody look alike. You could like, it would be very nice to have unique assets to every single character if you're playing in a squad, and maybe all of you guys like to have the same skin. I don't know, people like some skins, some people like others, but I think that is just great. But this is most likely going to be way in the future, as the player model upgrades are not yet in the making from the roadmap. It was probably a few months into the future now. Coming soon, for each prestige, players will be able to choose one of the following: a sum of extra starting money to kickstart their equipment loadout, or to save for the first few upgrades. So if you prestige and you choose that you wanna go back to the basics, basically, you can be given a little bit more money, which I think is counterpart to what your decision with prestiging even is. Unless you, I can see it as people might be choosing for that one if they don't necessarily want the prestige to get back to all the old items or like tier 1 items. But if you like counter it together with this one, people might just prestige only to get the player model unique prestige related things, which then would, if you add that with the money, you could like then purchase these accessories. So that is one way, or the only way I think the extra sum would be like as an incentive of prestiging. But I think right now in the game, people mostly prestige because they want to go back to the challenge of just having tier 1. Or the second one, or a small XP boost for that prestige only, allowing players to level up slightly faster but have to manage their money better. Yeah, okay. I think both of these options. I think they are great in theory, but like in practically, many people might not even like them, as the whole going through a prestige, people do it for like, oh, we're back to square one and we have to do everything once again and learn all new equipment and play with higher difficulties and to level up again. Unless you just do the campsite or a campsite XP boost, where you basically just get a hunt and then try and hope that you get an easy recognizable ghost and get a lot ludicrous of experience. But like, I don't know. I don't think this one is really. I think they should add just a third one that says skip both of them. I think I would have done that, as I like the challenge at least, with having to actually get the money, and it's kind of a me problem if I just die too many times that I don't have the money. Which I think they should just add that. Well, let me know what you think about these two. I don't know, maybe they should add a third one that is more of a support, but not like it will give you extra money or extra experience. I don't know. But here is the thing that we really want to know. Equipment. Specifically the evidence equipment. I don't really care about the like optional equipment. Just like, yeah, okay. Tier or dots. Tier 1 is slightly too hard to use, so we will be making it brighter and increasing the range of the light it emits. I think increasing the range, at least for how when I have used tier 1 dots, I think increasing the range of the limit, I think that's great. I think that is a huge idea, pass on back. But I don't think you need to make it too much brighter, seeing as tier 1 is supposed to be shitty, you're supposed to not have a lovely relationship with it. And they have already once, since the Ascension buffed tier 1 slightly, with they allowed us to put it down on the like floor, seeing as before at the start you had to hold it, you had to be actively looking for dots, and you just be looking around with your little flashlight, pointing it around, hoping that you will see dots, and then if you were in the correct position, looked in the correct place, you would find dots. And I think I love that like range of the tier 1, but I won't say that I would prefer tier 1 over the other two. But yeah, I think increasing the range, that's great. I don't know I don't think you need to make it too much brighter. But yeah, that's the dots. Let me know what you think about it. EMF reader. Tier 1's needle often goes or gets too close or even goes past the 5 mark during events or hunts. And it's super annoying. It has made many confused, and many people have said, oh, it's EMF 5 when it's not. So we'll be clamping that pesky needle a little harder to make sure people aren't mistaking it for evidence. Which is great, because right now, tier 1, you need to see it be heavily in the high activity range, like way past level 5. You basically need the needle to be off the charts before you can like, oh yeah, it's EMF 5, let's go there. Let's check it off in our little book. Tier 3 will receive a new sound for EMF 5 reading. I think that is great, because right now you kind of just hear beep 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 beep, which isn't really that great. If you for some reason isn't even thinking too much through the investigation and you hear the beep 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 beep, you could just you could just be like, what the fuck? Yeah, you kind of have to check it, pick it up and check it. So giving this sound a new sound, making it easier for evidence without picking it up, which is great. Especially that was I love the one with the tier 2 or the old EMF is that it could be on the floor and you would just see it lighting up to the red range. You didn't need to pick it up. It would just wee 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 make sounds, and then you will see the red. Yes, I love that with the tier 2, but I love the fact that the tier 3 has 3 readings and point you semi in the direction, even though the direction is kind of faulty, I would say. Or I have had experienced it with the direction being faulty, and I'm so confused. What even was the reading and whatnot? But I think this is gonna change it. Additionally, we'll be changing the tier 3 sensor reading for PC players. Thank God. This will make the directional indicator more accurate and feel more intuitive to read. Thank you so much. Please and thank you. I've had so many times where I have been trying to do perfect investigation where you need to fill up the book with 3-star photos. I see there's EMF, and you know EMF is the easiest pictures to take with interactions and whatnot. And then I've been going in circles because it points me there and then it points me to a different way, and then I never find a thing and I don't get my perfect investigation. Unless I am in the house longer than I just need to be. Thermometer. Okay. We can see the tier 1 here. Are they nerfing my tier 1? Tier 1 never had its randomness to the readings, which is true. You could basically use it to know for sure, have the ghost moved, is it in this room, and whatnot. Making it so much more accurate than the other tiers, which is unfortunate when you kind of get tier 1 for free. Don't save your money where you can, man. You gotta min-max in this game. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We'll be implementing a slight fluctuation on readings to reduce its effectiveness. I hope they implement this in a good way, where when the fluctuation is that, I hope the line giving us the readings on the tier 1 will be going in a slight fluctuation with +1, +2 on the chart for what the room is. So let's say we have a ghost, doesn't have freezing. Let's say the base the baseline temperature in that room is 2, and then the fluctuation would be between 1 and 4 or something like that. I think if they do like that, I think this is amazing. I think tier 1 would still be good. Maybe tier 1 will still have its number 1 spot on the thermal list, but I think it all comes down to how they implement that. Tier 2 and tier 3 will be adjusted so that the initial hold to scan, continuing to hold the use button, will keep refreshing the temperature reading every second or so. That is a great idea. So as long as you hold the button, it will still refresh, and that is how it used to be. It would refresh. You would just walk around with your thermometer pointing around, and then you would get reading. So I'm with just like this. I think the incentive to use tier 2 and tier 3 is way higher on the list for me. If and when that gets implemented, unless the community is just so outraged over that whole idea. Tier 3 will have its randomness reduced further to make it even better than tier 2, which is amazing, because right now in the game, if you have ever had to use tier 3 or tier 2, especially tier 3, you have to sometimes scan upward 5 to even more times to even get your freezing. Even if you haven't put it in the ghost room for quite a while and you have just gone around and do some other shenanigans while you waited for the temperature to lower if you have turned on the breaker. So that is great, because right now I don't think tier 3 and tier 2 has any difference, except the fact that the tier 3 is a little bit faster, but it's not that much faster that it has any kind of big a big leap in being better. Okay, UV. Uh-oh. We'll be flipping tier 1 and tier 2 around so the players start with the flashlight and unlocks the glow stick second. This should feel more like a useful progression than it currently is. Which is true, because right now everybody knows that you're a silly little ghost hunter if you use tier 2 instead of tier 1, because the glow stick is reusable, it's infinite, and it emits a bigger light and a bigger range for your at least for the doors, because you can just put it on the floor on the door and then you can get the picture of the hand if there's UV handprints and all that. I think this is a smart decision. Yes, it does mean that we need to actually not prestige, but we need to like unlock tier 2 and then choose it, but I think this is more of an incentive to actually try and prestige my items or upgrade my items. So I think that is, even though it's sad to see that I won't be running around with my like glow stick from the get-go, but I think, yeah, this is just the smart option for them really to do. Optional equipment. Firelights and igniters will be increasing the duration and light range for all tiers, giving players new ways to walk around in the dark. That is amazing. Thank God, finally, right now in the game, and even before the Ascension, the flashlight, or not the flashlight, but the firelight did shit. Basically, it did shit. It gave you no, like, really good way of actually being able to see. It was just in your face, and before the Ascension, at least, it had 100% a stop rate of stopping your sanity if you're walking around with your tear or with your firelight. But making it actually a light that you can use, it's great. It's great. Thank you. We have needed it for such a long time. I'm great to see that you guys are doing that. Headgear will be adding an additional keybind for toggling on and off your headgear slot. So many players have, as many players have expressed, the current method isn't ideal, which is very true, because there's one thing you don't want to be in the predicament of, is that if you have tier 1 or tier 2 or even tier 3 headgear and you have to use the same button, so if you get a hunt and you get the idea like, oh shit, I need to turn off my headgear, and in your process of turning off your headgear, and if you have a like flashlight in your inventory, it will just turn the flashlight on, which is kind of stupid. Just make it 2 different buttons. Please at least give us, or give the PC, or give the PC this like additional button. I know that when console comes out, I know console doesn't have as many buttons to like put inputs on, but please, this is really needed. I don't really like using any headgear just for that purpose, because I would rather stick with a flashlight and know I can survive a hunt than stupidly be killed because I couldn't get my headgear to turn off because it turned on my flashlight, and then the ghost said hello, and then I died. Like, thank you. All 3 tiers of headgear will have a new sound playing when being interfered with by the ghost, and the players know this, they should turn it off during hunts. Which is great, because right now, at least I haven't noticed if there is any interference at all. You could just be having your night vision and you could just basically look at the ghost if it comes towards you. And I think this one will maybe nerf a little bit if you do the Apocalypse challenge, at least with the tier 3 night vision. But yeah, I think it's just great to at least give us some audible sounds to let us know, seeing as we get a visual interference with the flashlight, we see it flicker, we like, oh shit, again, we need to turn this shit off, because or else this ghost will just know where we are. Which is great. I think that is great. Tier 3's night vision doesn't currently have any paranormal interference. Yes, that's true. So we'll be adding some of that to reduce its effectiveness during hunts to keep it on par with other equipment. So this whole line here basically means that if you really want to get Apocalypse Challenge trophies and challenges, you should do that before the update, because right now you could just go into Apocalypse, hope you get one ghost that is very easy to recognize, seeing it in night vision. Like maybe you get a Houndu, like it's really easy with the tier 3 night vision to see cold breath from the ghost, so you could just cross your fingers, hope you get a Houndu, have your night vision on while you're doing the Apocalypse. So that's gonna nerf it, at least. So hopefully I can manage to get this, I can manage to do the Apocalypse Challenge before this. I don't know when they're gonna add this. They just said it's a work in progress, and it's with the new shop store rework and all that. Motion sensor. Tier 3's truck map indicator will be changed to be more accurate and show what is detecting clearer, which is really great, because with tier 1 and tier 2 motion sensor, you have these two lines, and you will see the two lines on the truck, and you will see which line gets turned on when the ghost goes through it. Or you can see which line, when it's tier 2, tier 1 has just kind of one line. But the tier 3 is just a big circle. It's just a big red circle. And in the game, it's just a big circle that rotates around, looking for if the ghost goes into the circle or out of the circle. So I think they should make a little pointer if the ghost is, like, in which direction the ghost actually is. I think that is a very good decision, as tier 3, at least if you use the map indicator in the van, you would basically get no knowledge of that at all. You would just know, okay, the ghost is close to the ghost room, figured it's the ghost room, unless it changes, of course. Microphone. To aid hearing impaired users, will be making the red LED light on the side of tier 1 pair mic flash when it picks up sound. I can't say for everybody, but as a hearing impaired person myself, I don't know how much that will help me. At least I'm not as hearing impaired that I have lowered hearing in both ears or something like that. I just have one ear that works, and so basically if anything happens on my right side, I will never know. I will be so ignorant to that because I cannot even hear it. I can't hear it. But I don't think putting a flash when it picks up sound is going to be so beneficial as tier 1, at least tier 1. It's already as trash. It doesn't help you find any ghost room. If you have played this weekly challenge, you would know that if you have tried going around with the tier 1, you have heard basically next to nothing. You have to be extremely lucky that you actually are pointing in the right direction for the ghost. So I don't think there's a lot of players that even uses the tier 1 paramic. I don't even know if there's anybody that uses the paramic, regardless of any tier, for the purpose of finding the ghost. I think most people just use the paramic only for the objective of getting a paranormal sound. So I don't know if that is going to be helping extremely much, but then again, I only have my hearing impairness. I know that it won't be the same for everybody because I have my way of hearing. Basically, I don't hear anything on the right side, so if the ghost hunts me and it's on my right side, I will be super ignorant and I won't even hear it before it's close enough to me that my left ear can pick it up. So I don't know if that's gonna help, but maybe it will help from somebody. Just let me know if you're a person that is hearing impaired. Do you think it will help you? Do you think? I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of people that even uses the paramic. So, and it, especially tier 1, it is not a great way. It's not a good way to even try and find the ghosts or try and get the objective to get parabolic sounds seeing, as you need to be. It's a lottery ticket when you pick up your tier 1. It's a lottery ticket, and you need to be the lottery winner to be even hear the paranormal sounds, seeing as the range is so small and everything else get muffled, and the dice or the circle on the paramic is also so small. So the tier 1, I don't know if there's actually so many things that you can do to make it better, but that is fine. It's fine for me. If this one works for other people, that's great. Photo camera. Tier 2 will receive a slight buff to the photo taking speed. I think that's a nice little gift. I won't say that it has been too difficult for me, but then again, right now I'm rocking the tier 3 and I'm just taking picture of everything super fast, and then I just walked out of the game and then said, okay, next round. I'm kidding. We'll be fixing for the final time the oversight of taking the ghost photo with a full book pesky haunted cameras, which has been in the game for such a long time that you cannot take, or you can it's been bugged, it's been fixed, and then now they hopefully will fix it for the final time, that you can get your optional all your optional objectives. And then if you are so unlucky that you took all 10 photos before the ghost, and you needed a ghost photo, you have no way of getting the ghost photo, at least not checked off as a quest. So I think they're gonna try and fix all of that, because it's been bugged for quite a long time, which is silly, but now they're at least hopefully fixing it. Hopefully, we can cross our fingers. There are still some bugs with photos, but with the major photo overhaul coming soon, and for this is coming soon, hopefully, wink wink, a lot of that will be fixed as a byproduct. However, we are still looking at increasing the consistency of taking photos, which is amazing, because right now you can just cheese it. You can put all your salt in one spot, especially if you have tier 2 or tier 3, all salt in one spot, and you can just take 9 photos of that one photo. So it's not, you don't need to be skilled to get a photo, really. I think they should have a little bit more skill, especially if you were an old player, if you played back in 2020 when it just came out, and how when the photo system got implemented and how it worked, you needed to know the exact location of where an item was, and then you had to take a picture of where the item is supposed to be and take that picture, and then it will be, oh, it interacted with that thing, but you needed to know where that thing was. So if you saw one of the shoes or one of the table accessories just launched to a different place, you needed to know exactly where should it have been originally and take that photo. So I think that is great. I would like a little bit more of a challenge in that aspect. More benefits of upgrading the camera materials will come with the new system, including removal of failed photos, which is been so needed. I cannot tell you how many times I have lost my perfect investigation just because I got a tier 2 photo. I got a bad photo. I got a, especially when it was when there's a bug with taking the photo off the door with the UV. If you don't have UV, because then you cannot see exactly where the handprint is, and then you have to know based on what type of door, where is the place you need to take the photo for it to work. And then you get a failed photo, and then your whole run is down the drain, and you go and cry yourself to sleep because you lost out on money. I'm kidding. Sanity medication. will be speeding up the sanity restoration effect for tier 2 to make the upgrade more worthwhile. I can wholeheartedly say that I have not noticed any difference because I don't use medication that often. Because I basically ignore it, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost dying because the girl's hunted. So this is probably a good thing. If tier 2 speed is the same speed as tier 1, then I think it's kind of poopy. So that's great. That's great. I don't have a lot of say in that because I don't use it that often. Sound sensor will like to add a mute button to each sensor in the truck, so you can concentrate on watching dots on the monitor in a safety and silence. Okay, that is cool. Okay, the truck dwellers can get a little more safety and silence. Good luck to you guys. I'm not really in the truck too often. I'm usually the friend that gets sent in if I do play multiplayer. At least when I played it so many hours. That it is just crazy. Cursed possessions, monkey paw. With the most recent changes to the monkey paw affecting the see ghost wish, which, if you don't know what it is you wish to see the ghost, and then you get blinded. You get like the darkness, you get a darkness effect, and then the ghost will like appear in front of you doing an event. And seeing as you're blinded, you don't see it, so that's stupid. We're going to make the darkness effect start when the hunt starts, so you can actually see the ghost during the event, which is great. As when you want to see the ghost, you kind of get like, oh, you wanted to see me? No, get blind. I will do my stuff while you're blind, and then maybe you're just alive, but you don't get to see me, which is a little bit silly. Training. Some parts of training aren't accurate to gameplay or are frustrating, so we'll be making the following adjustments, which I think is great. I think the training is not up to par to the game, and honestly, if you use your training or like use the training functions to hope that you will maybe learn something in the game, you probably won't, because it's not that good. It's better than what it was, but it's not too good. We'll replace the dot section with something more accurate to how ghosts act in game, which is great because right now you get lied to, you get fooled, as how the dot section is that you will now, or how it is right now, you get tier 1 dots. You have your little flashlight and then you look around in the little room with the dots, and you will see 4 statues of the ghost, or like of a mannequin with a little carpet on over it. That's what you see. That is no accurate to how the game plays at all. So if you have used the training and you think that is how the dots look like, you get scammed and you will never know, oh, there's no dots, okay, I don't see it, so okay, it's not dots. Lowering the overall temperature in the warehouse to make the freezing temps section less frustrating, which is great. I know that when I went for that achievement, I was kind of like very mad about that fact. Very mad about that part, that it was so frustrating. As well as add cold breath to relevant areas, which is very great, at least for returning players that played before Ascension, because most of them probably knows that if cold breath equals freezing temperature, so you can just cross that in your book and then you are golden. But now it's changed, so it's a good thing that they show that in the training, so they will know, or people know, that if you see your own breath, it might not be freezing, but there is a chance. You should check it out. The EMF section should require EMF 5 to progress instead of any EMF, which is just great, because right now you just see one thing get thrown and then you just go a little bit closer to it, and then it opens the door and says, okay, save now, go to the next section, which is great. The ghost orb section sometimes completes without the player knowing why, so we'll be increasing the time that you need to aim the camera at the orb for doors are like, which is just great, because then people will actually learn how does the orb look like, and that is just very great. But that was all for this developer preview and their thoughts. Let me know how you like any of these changes. Is there something you like, something you dislike? Give us some feedback, because they are asking for it. And it will just make everything better if we can work together to make this a great game, because Phasmo is honestly a very great game. But please leave a like and subscribe if you like this. And if you want to see Phasmo being played live, I do stream over on Twitch.tv/GammaSisu, or you can click the link down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.